to follow on universal experience, as we are all addicted to something, we're also all aging. And faster than you think. So I've been engrossed in research cultivating mind, body, and brain connections, but there is an opportunity to develop soul connection. And I think that's where we can make a difference, and technology can accelerate this. So this is the hard problem. Global population is rapidly aging, and you see the curves indicating people over 65, overlapping just recently with children under 5 being born, meaning that in 20 to 30 years, we're going to run out of caregivers. And we're all chronically stressed. The line here is our universal reaction to mass disasters, mostly climate-based. And we are spiking in distress, and then we're adapting to this level of distress, and we're recovering, except we're bombarded with mass disasters every day, and it's not one mass disaster, it's many. And we don't recover. And this kind of stress, chronic stress, accelerates our aging and brain aging. It creates this problem of vulnerable brain with accelerated development of cerebrovascular disease, neurodegenerative changes, and chronic inflammation that under continuous stress lead to decline, depression, cognitive decline, dementia, unless we work with the resilience factors and plug them in right in the middle of all this, such as social support, participation, physical and cognitive engagement, and building brain reserve. Resilience generally refers to ability to recover from adversity and stress. And brain resilience is rooted in neuroplasticity and neuroprotection, leading to psychological, emotional, cognitive, and physical health. Lifestyle interventions like sleep, diet, exercise, stress reduction was all the wonderful interventions we are talking about, mind-body interventions, social relationships, and cultivation of joy and transcendence are key to elevating humanity and human spirit. We now know that aging starts at conception, and the programming for neurodegenerative disease and vascular disease starts in utero. And that's why brain health is a universal lifespan problem, and if we start early preventing future disorders of aging, we can be very successful, rather than trying to reverse already existing damage in midlife and older adults. So we're all exposed. The role of exposure to adverse experiences like toxicities, in physical and mental trauma throughout life, including in utero and early adulthood, can be offset by plugging in resilience factors. Integrative therapies are now known, have enough evidence to conclude that they can serve that role of rebalancing. They are known, mind-body therapies, dietary interventions, physical activity, body-based like massage, natural products, supplements, can reverse cardiorespiratory damage due to stress, immune inflammatory, brain health, metabolic, musculoskeletal, epigenetic, and biological age, and reverse some of the mechanisms of aging, as my studies and others have shown, reversing cellular senescence, mitochondrial dysfunction, chronic inflammation, telomere attrition, and epigenetic alterations. I spent a lot of time studying all of these interventions: yoga, meditation, spirituality, tai chi, qigong, art, and dance. And technology can be useful for delivery and measurement of physiological changes, but you have to tell me what else is possible. So so I describe the situation. We're born into a very stressful environment, toxic environment. We have some predisposition to certain diseases and are dealing with lifestyle and environmental factors. But if we plug in mind-body interventions into that, they change the trajectory of miserable ending by modifying these mechanisms of chronic stress and senescence, and optimizing brain, mental, and physical health. I've been studying Kirtan Kriya for 17 years in different studies in different populations, and it's an 11-minute meditation. We started with eight-week administration to chronically stressed dementia caregivers, and it's quite pleasant. They're chanting Satanama. They're pointing fingers and mudras, which is like acupressure exercise and generating energy, chi. And they're focused on the eyebrow point, common in meditative focus, and imagining light, golden light or white light, coming through the center of their brain and coming out at the brow point. And that's for 11 minutes. And that results in reduction in depression in the meditators compared to people who are just listening to music passively. Increase in resilience, and what was surprising at that time, 17 years ago, improvement in cognition in caregivers who are not demented. And that changed my career trajectory because that's where I went with. And this was the first in human studies with Elisa Apple and Elizabeth Blackburn measuring telomerase. They could not tell me whether I'm going to see any change in telomerase. And we did. So improvement happened in meditators versus just listening to music. This was another discovery that changed my career trajectory and contributed to the establishment of social epigenetics, where we start understanding that our choices, lifestyle or otherwise, really dictate changes in our genes. And that resulted in decrease in inflammation and improvement in resistance to viral infections. The brain changes measured on PET and fMRI in meditators versus control led us to discover the changes in frontal lobe and interoceptive and emotion regulation. And this is the last study published in the Frontiers showing our brain on art, nature, and transcendental meditation on cosmic soul, where participants were trained to connect with cosmic soul and viewed videos of nature or art by Refik Anadol, a wonderful digital artist. And what we discovered that these experiences were quite similar when brain is concerned, developing this neuroscience of transcendence.